What's going on, guys? Welcome back. How are you doing? So today started off with a downtrend. We got a break early in the morning and multiple legs to a new low. Plus we kind of overshot the trend line here at the bottom, and a lot of times overshoot will lead into break of a channel. So that's exactly what happened. So we're moving higher. From the first two swings, I drew this trend line. And the first trade I marked for today was this second entry long. You can notice you got a bounce of this trend line, but you don't want to take it. It is only a first entry and it is still inside this trend line. So, you always have to draw these shorter term trend lines. You got to break of this little correction, move to a new low. This is a two-legged pullback. Market moves in twos. So this is a sign for you. You should be paying attention. I didn't take this trade because the signal bar is horrible, but nevertheless I have to mark it because some of you may be watching and you had much better signal bar here. It is a two-legged pullback to the EMA, and we're still waiting for a new high of this trend channel line. So this was the first good trade today. It was a little bit earlier, but still, yeah, 1441, not that early. And what happened here? We got two legs to a new high, and then prices went into a little bit congestion, a little bit. It's a safe word. A huge congestion. You don't want to trade this, and this is exactly at the open. This is why I don't like trading at the open, regardless whether you're trading forex, different commodity stocks. You always need to be careful. Around the open, there are almost always some sort of trap. They trap them short, they trap them long, and they will just chop in here and there. It was a little bit tempting to enter here. But no, I said my rules are telling me that the only way you trade congestion is you fade the breakout. This is what happened here. Prices broke above, and then instantly pulled back. Perfect price action. At this point when the market was here, I didn't have this support yet in place. So, I still don't think that you want to take this long. It may easily bounce a little bit lower. But we are now getting closer to the first trade today that I took. We are working higher. Correction. We are now heading to double top. We break. We made a new high, and now this is clear. This is a trading range. There is no strong uptrend or downtrend in any way. Prices are now swinging back and forth. So when the prices shut down and went back into the range, and they pulled back and made this lower high, this is where I went short, and it was quick, easy scalp. I wasn't thinking long here by any means. I was still kind of hoping EMA shut down lower. But once we bounce here and we make first entry long, pull back, second entry long, and at this point you can move it a little bit higher, the trend line, the resistance line, excuse me. But this was another good trade because at this point, this is clearly a trading range, and you always want to draw your short-term trend lines and always want to take the setups off the lows or off the highs. And this is what I like about, once you understand price action, the repeat patterns. Look at this. This setup is very similar to this setup. You are working higher from the lows. Let me mark this. You're working higher from the lows. You got a break. You got a first entry, second entry long, but you don't want to go long into the resistance. You got a new high, and then once again pull back, lower high. Waiting for lower highs is much better. Lower highs are kind of like a confirmation. I don't think you want to short directly these first, new highs. If you wait for a lower high, that's much higher probability trade. You're going to have much more success, win rate much better. So this was the second trade I took today. So I was 2-0 at this point, and I actually didn't get this good of a runner. I kind of exited. I was really chickened out around here. I really thought they're gonna get me because a lot of times in ES, they're gonna get you. But I kind of kicked myself afterwards, looking if I just held a few more points, I could have been out for the day. And then just prices once again. What happens if you break out of the training range? The market will usually go back in the trading range. There's a lot of crap on the internet telling you that you need to buy or sell the breakout. Of course, eventually one of them it's gonna break successfully like this one did. And they still, you still want to wait for a pullback because they still broke the range here and they still prices try to pull back. So you always want to wait for breakout pullback when you are trading ranges or congestions. But here are we working. We have first entry short, failed, pullback, higher, spike through EMA, second entry short. It failed. Look at this nice bullish reversal bar. The support is now holding nicely and it's off the trend line. Kind of move it a little bit. And it's off the trend line. So, and it's off the EMA. So you get 3 green signals to go long here. And you cannot ignore this. This is a strong support. It's off the trend line and the EMA is holding. And actually, excuse me, first entry, second entry short. So you got almost all key, points of my strategy telling you that you need to go long here. And the more points from the rules you fulfill, the more you want to take the trade. So this was all the price action in the world is telling you need to go long here. And this is what you should do. You cannot get scared by this big bearish move because you are still in the range and prices pull back into the range, now acting as a support, and we are working higher. I was actually trying to go short here. I put my limit order way back and I didn't get filled, unfortunately. I was kind of taking a chance, but sometimes I like to take a chance on the small signal bars just to try to sneak in a little bit and try to get a little bit better entry. But EMA is holding at this point, but this is just the first entry, and second entry is horrible. And it's not even second entry because prices didn't broke below this bar. So this is just still part of the first entry move. So you cannot enter this. You need to wait. You need to follow the rules. Prices shot up higher, and they then you make better setup. You get a 2-legged pullback once again. Like look at this setup. Repeat pattern. 1 leg pullback, second leg, 1 leg pullback, second leg. Market moves in 2, so you need to pay attention to this. So this is a first entry long, pullback, second entry long. It probably frightened you a little bit when you entered and you're seeing this big bearish bar. But at this point you broke out of the range, you're working higher, the EMA is still holding, and there is already double bottom. So you need to stick to the rules. You cannot get scared and emotional. And once we double tapped right here, I've seen this pattern so many times. I knew that even though it was really tempting to take this long, I knew that I cannot tempt this. I cannot take this, and I need to reverse it because it's gonna be trapped. And I almost broke my keyboard in half here because this is where I entered, and I entered just to get stopped out 1 tick above, just to see it moving where I thought it would go. So I was really, this really kind of pissed me off because this is exactly what I hate, and it's gonna happen to a lot of you, a lot of beginners. Sometimes you're just a little bit early and you get stopped out of perfectly good trade just to see it where you thought it was gonna go. So I was really angry here, and I don't care. Even though you're supposed to be emotionless as a trader, I really, took a joy in me being angry because, once you made this double top in this big bullish bar, I knew they were gonna trap these bulls, still thinking go long. I just got, got a little bit early. This bar is too big into the support, so you don't want to take this. This is the first entry, second entry long that failed, and you don't want to go short into this support that is forming here. So this is where I re-entered because we get a first entry short, pullback, second entry short that failed. It failed at the moment where the prices broke 1 tick above this signal bar. So I was done at this trade. I was 1, 2, 3-1 for the day, and yeah, this really kind of pissed me off. But hey, what can you do? And I know it's obvious you're gonna have losers, but this is just not typical loser. You just got stopped out a little bit just to see it go where you thought it was gonna go, or whatever. So first entry, second entry, this is similar to this one. Prices broke a little bit below the support and they got back into the support, and the support is now holding just like here. You gotta pay attention to these kind of repeat patterns. They're all over the place, and once you train your eyes to see it, you're gonna be much better trader. And then you know trading range just moved a little bit higher. I don't know, there might be a little bit some bigger trend line, but I don't think you don't really need this. This is me after the fact drawing the trend line, so I don't want to be Captain Smart here, but um, you don't need this trend line, really. You can, if you use training range rules, you're gonna be okay. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up a little bit earlier. It's Friday. Gotta head off here, even though it's raining outside a little bit. The summer is probably officially over here in Czech Republic. We're heading to winter. I don't like winters, but yeah, what can you do? So yeah, today was you got nice two-legged pullbacks to the EMA. So this is a pattern that you can learn, and you can clearly learn how prices react when they get back into the range and the support is holding just like here and here. And of course this repeat pattern, this lower high here and this lower high here. It is similar right here. You get lower high, but at this point, if I move this higher, you don't really know there is resistance. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you would be so kind, hit the like button. I would appreciate it. And yeah, see you guys Monday. Have a safe weekend. Bye.